Hello and welcome to Lunchtime. I am so glad to have you here. I'm Leona Dooley, and as I said, this is lunchtime. So get your drink, get whatever you're going to eat for lunch, pull up a chair, and get ready because we have a lot to talk about today. It's summer. And so, because of that, we're going to we're going to talk about things that here that we do in the kitchen. And one of the things that I find that during the summer that our kitchen is a hot spot. When you bring the kiddos home, normally during the school year, if you happen to be at home, then your kitchen stays pretty straight. But you know what? During the summer, when everybody comes home, hello, Ronnie, when everyone comes home, then there's a problem because you're busy, you have a lot to do, and we got to figure out how to keep that kitchen clean. Because when people come to your house, and 9 times out of 10, if you have someone who visits your house, hello everyone, how are you? It's a great day here in Virginia. Now, if you happen to have someone to just stop by, maybe it's your next door neighbor who comes by and you're just chit chatting over whatever it may be, they're going to see your kitchen because most people who are coming to your home, I don't know about yours, but I know with mine, we always end up in the kitchen because I'll offer them a beverage to drink or something, to go along with it. And so because of that, we have to think about the fact that we do not want people to walk in and see our kitchen a hot mess. But when the kiddos, the hubby, and the fur babies are around, our kitchens have a tendency sometimes to kind of not be as perfect as you like for them to be. So I have been working on a process, and I've been working the process because I'm gonna tell you, even with the grands not here every day, like sometimes they are, um, I have to keep the big guy in a routine. We got to get that routine going. And, the reason for that is because, let's face it, girls and guys, you know, I want the kitchen a certain way. I want it clean. I want it straight. And I want to know where things are. So absolutely, we're gonna talk today about how to always have a clean kitchen. Now, we talk about a morning routine and evening routine. And I'm going to purposely today start with the evening routine. And you're going, what? Yeah, I'm going to start with the evening routine. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you have a dynamite evening routine, then your morning's going to start out smooth. And that's what we want. We want to get to that point. So, if you will just give me a second, first let me say hello to everyone. We got Ronnie, we got Gigi, we got Sin, we got Matriarchs Matter. All of you are there, and I certainly appreciate your being here. We have others who are also on with us. So let's get started with some of the things that we're going to talk about. Now, one of the things, this is the way my kitchen looked this morning. Now, I last night followed my normal kitchen routine. Kitchen was clean, but when I came down, I don't know if you can see that right there in my sink, there is something sitting there. And I can tell you this, I didn't put it there because when I get those kind of things, they go straight into the dishwasher. And the last thing I do before I go to bed is to run the dishwasher. So I know that somebody, Mr. Somebody, came through and left something in my sink. and didn't put it in the dishwasher. So guess what? This is what I woke up to. So we're going to have to talk about that. And Mr. Somebody, I've got to work on that. That's something we're going to have to talk about and have an understanding with. Okay. So let's take a look at some other things that we're going to have going. I'm going to be flipping and sending things back and forth, and I'm going to kind of zip through some of the things that I do, not necessarily in order, but I will list those things, I promise you, in the description box in order. Because, like I said, I'm starting with my evening routine. And what I actually did today was hello, Kim, I took a moment to really walk through to make sure that I gave you the plan and to make sure that you had everything that you were supposed to have. Nefertari or Nefertiti? Nefertari. Okay. All right. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Nefertari. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Now, so we're going to take a look. I'm going to go to, I thought I had all these in order. And, that's what we always try to do. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at, first of all, put yourself in the mindset of where you have just finished with dinner. And so as you finish with dinner, then what do we do? Now, here's one thing that I do is that before I leave my kitchen at night, I try to make sure, I usually have a candle that's lit, and the candle's here. It goes pretty much from the time I get up until just before I decide to go to bed. And so always have to make a conscious effort to make sure that I blow out the candle. And number two, that I lay out clean towels. And that's important because you want to make sure that if you get up the next morning and you need a towel quickly, that you have clean towels. So I try to make sure that I have my regular dishwashing towels clean, as well as specific drying towels clean, because I like to hang pretty towels, but those are not the ones that I'm going to use just to grab and to dry off whatever it is in the kitchen. So those are some of the things that we have and that we do: blowing out the candle, laying out kitchen towels, and last but not least, I mean literally last but not least, is that we want to start that dishwasher, because by the end of the night, you should have all of the day's collected dishes in the dishwasher. If everybody, oh, good, Nefertari. So if you have put those dishes in, teach the kids to put the dishes in as well. Rinse and put it in. Rinse and put it in. And you can make it a little song or a little jazzy thing that you do, and make it fun. And they will add what you need right into that dishwasher. That's what one of the things I like to do. Now, from there, if I have any dirty towels, collect all the dirty kitchen towels and anything else you might find that might be lurking around that needs to go to the laundry room. Because sometimes if your family's like mine, you'll find it may be a pair of shoes, tennis shoes that really need to go to the laundry. And yes, I wash my tennis shoes, especially my walking shoes. And good morning, Elizabeth. And I have a tendency to pick up whatever I can find, whether it's a throw that just isn't smelling as fresh as it should, whatever it may be. Pick those up, take them straight up to the laundry room. And in my case, my laundry room's upstairs. I know some of you, your laundry room may be on the first floor, and some may even have a basement or a lower level, and your laundry room is there. So wherever your laundry room is, take all that stuff to the laundry room. And that's a good time as well to go ahead and start to put things in the washer, because what I also do, a part of my morning routine, is to start a load of laundry before I get too busy through the day. Now, another thing that I also like to do is to pick up the little small rugs that I may have in the kitchen, because I don't know about you, I need a rug in front of my sink, because if I don't have a rug in front of my sink, what happens is that little drips, or somebody splatters water when they're running water, or they're pouring something, then at least the rug catches it. And usually, if you have a rug right there in front of your sink, if something happens to jump off your cutting board and end up on the floor, it goes on the rug rather than on your actual floor that you're going to have to try to pick up, or to handle. Or if a dish falls, then it hits the rug rather than the hard floor. So the rug is there for a reason. This particular rug that you're looking at is right in front of my refrigerator, because I have a water and ice dispenser. And for some reason, that um, um, dispenser shoots the ice. So I can guarantee that at least one piece of ice is going to end up on the floor. And it's funny to think about that. It's almost like it just wouldn't be right if I actually went and got ice and there didn't end up something on the floor. So, and if you have little ones, because when the grands are here, they're likely to overflow something. So at least the water goes on the rug, not on the floor. Now, to be honest with you, hello there, hello there. To be honest with you, I also put a rug in front of the stove, because that's a real good grease catcher. So these little rugs, there's 3 rugs: the refrigerator, the sink, and in front of the stove, are there to save you, so that if you have loose dirt, you can shake it, sweep that away, clean it up, and you can actually reuse the rug until you're ready at the end of the week, unless it's something major. At the end of the week, then you can pick up the 3 rugs, toss them in the wash, start out fresh Monday morning with nice clean rugs ready to go. So that's an opportunity, and that's a time saver, being able to do that. Now, also, this part you don't necessarily have to do. If you have someone else in your family other than you, as you finish up with dinner, just ask them very kindly, would you mind pushing the chairs back around the table, or pushing the chairs up to the bar? And then that way, your chairs are neat, your bar is neat. Should someone drop by and they walk into the door, the room has an air of neatness, because the chairs are important. And, you know, over anything, they don't have to move anything, everything's there. So this is the way my kitchen looked this morning. I took a picture to see if things somewhat stayed the way I had it planned. So chairs were in place at both the table and the counter. So I was pretty happy with that part. The only part that really got me was the part of still having dishes in that sink. Now, also at night, before I close my eyes, I make sure that I have cleaned my coffee maker. We prepare coffee and sometimes tea, but most of the time coffee, because that's what the big guy likes. So I'll clean the coffee maker. I'll put the filter in, the coffee in, uh, and set it for the next morning, so that all I have to do when I walk in is to tap that button. Or, of course, I could set it with a clock. The only reason I don't at this point is because the time that we get up is like this. So Some days we may sleep in, some days I'll get up early. And so for that reason, I physically turn on the coffee maker. So anyway, we have coffee ready to go, but the coffee's set, and that's a good thing. It's all ready to go. All righty. How about you all? Are we going over some things that maybe you might do as well? This had always been a biggie. Rinsing the dishes once somebody uses a dish and then getting them to put it into the dishwasher. Why is that so hard? To get them, rather than just sitting it in the sink, but get them to actually load the dishwasher, get that plate, get that saucer, get that cup, get that fork and knife, rinse it off, and put it in that dishwasher. And so that's what I won't say that I'm nag. I try not to do that, but I do drop little subtle reminders. Please put that in the dishwasher. Please rinse that and put it in here or there. And my philosophy is handle it one time. If you've got a plate and fork, put it in the dishwasher. Don't make me have to come back a second time, pick up that same plate and fork and put it in the dishwasher. Do it the first time. And it's so funny because I think my grandkids actually have gotten into that routine better than my own children did. And I guess it's because we just, they're just they are so good to do anything that I ask. They do it automatically, and because they do it at home as well. Let's see. I'm gonna pop this up. Love of Petite said that because we finish eating, uh, we get a little lazy. And so I guess at that point, you're saying that it doesn't get done immediately. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay. Well, we all know our own schedules, but maybe before you go to bed, you can have these things done and you'd be amazed by how much how good it makes you feel to walk into that kitchen and not have anything that you really have to do other than maybe get something to drink in the morning, or you can walk in and start breakfast without having to go around and pick everything up and clean up from the night before. So these are suggestions, of course, and I do that kindly. Now, so let's talk about a few other things. I'm trying to, it's going to take me a moment. It does. It really does make a difference. Hello, Rhonda Edwards. Oh, that's so sweet. I am glad to see you here today. I am, the StreamYard is so funny. It has a way of, let's see, if I can remove a few things, then it will let me add a few things. So I'm going to add a couple of more things. And as we're talking about this, give me some of your suggestions that you like, some things that you like to do when you're working. I'm so glad you're with us. And I'm going to go down to, let's see, 2, 3. Let's see if that was in. Okay, we're trying to get these. Okay, there we go. Takes a minute. Okay, I think I had that. All right. All right. Now, so think about your evening routine, and I'll kind of go through it. You're going to prepare, you're going to take care of dinner, which we usually all do, or we eat, may eat out, or we may bring food in. And So you're going to rinse and load your dirty dishes and take care of all of that. Now, I typically hand wash most of the pots and pans. That's only because I think I get a cleaner pot and pan in doing that. But occasionally, if I'm in a hurry and I have a lot of them, I'm going to put them in the dishwasher. Um, Nefertari said that one thing that she does to keep her kitchen clean is to rid the fridge of cups. Oh, oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. Cups of half drank drinks and plates of I'm going to eat it later. Oh my goodness. She said because if she doesn't get rid of them then, she said that they'll end up in the sink after she puts the kitchen to bed. I like that, putting the kitchen to bed. That's absolutely right. You are so right. I know. Why do they do that to us? It just makes you crazy, you know. And don't bring it. Don't I can't. I cannot blame it on the children at this point because I'll say 90% of the time it's just myself and the big guy. And I'm not about sticking plates in the refrigerator or cups in the refrigerator. Hi, pretty things. Home decor and lifestyle. So glad to have you here with us. We're talking about keeping that kitchen clean and especially this summer. Oh my goodness. Nefertari had us laughing, talking about, I don't know if you caught it, talking about the fact that she has to keep her kitchen clean by ridding the fridge of those cups of drinks and plates of the I'm going to eat it later plates. And Ronnie said that's a problem at her house as well, is I'm going to eat it later. The big guy is so good at that. Or he calls it, what's he after dinner, if there's something that he didn't get to, he says, oh, that's going to be my snack for later. And there it goes into the refrigerator, his snack for later. Well, it may be 3 days later when his snack is still sitting in the refrigerator because he's forgotten about it. And so, you're constant, as soon as I see it in the trash, gone, or down the disposal, depending on what it is. It's so hard to keep those kind of things going. And I used to think it was just the kiddos, but now I know my kiddos are in their own house and married with their own kids. So they are not the culprits, not the culprits. It's the big guy. Now, so we have cleaned our coffee maker. We've set it up for the day. We've made sure our counters were washed and sanitized, and our stoves are clean. And any other surfaces you might have in the kitchen that need to be wiped down would be like the kitchen table. Those kind of things need to be taken care of. If you look around and you have some cabinet doors where something may have sprayed or dripped, this is a good time to go ahead, take a nice warm dish rag, wipe those off so that, they're clean, they're not sticky, it doesn't have time to stay. Wipe the handles of your fridge and stove down. All of those kind of things are the things that you want to do before you go to bed. Now, we put the chairs, or we had someone to put the chairs around the table neatly and at the counter. And, a lot of this we don't have to do. And especially if you have others in the house. And, I didn't even, when the kids were little, I didn't even call them chores. I would just ask nicely, would you do this for me, please? Or would you do me a favor and please put all the chairs around the table? Well, then they run. But if you put it on the chore list, Then they look at you like, with the face hanging. Hello, Karen, with their face hanging, and they're looking so sad and pitiful, or they're upset because, what, they got other things to do. So, but when you ask nicely, then everybody will cooperate with what you need. So that became my mantra. Would you mind? Would you please? In your sweetest voice. So we've got the dish towels up to where they need to go, and we are ready to go. Now, a couple more things that we want to do before we get our little nighties on and we're ready to go to bed. We want to make sure that we know at night what we plan to prepare the following day. Because so often there are things that we need to take out of the freezer. And if so, this is the time to do it. Take it out of the freezer, put it into the refrigerator. So that's where your menu plan comes in. Because even if you do your menu plan for a week, you can look and see, okay, tomorrow I'm going to need ground beef, or tomorrow we're going to need turkey legs, or whatever it may be. So this is the time to be able to put those items into the refrigerator and allow them to thaw through the night. Um, Last but not least, blow out your candle. If you put a candle, if you have a lit candle in your kitchen, please remember that. Now, I have to admit, at this point, that's the evening routine. That's the evening routine. Now, let's see. Pretty Things is saying that. That's cute. She said, I know how to get children to cooperate and work, but it seems like, well, you might. And what's funny, she said it seems like we made it fun. And, yeah, that's the thing to do. And I did not associate those kinds of things with tangible items. They didn't get paid. They didn't get paid for sweeping the kitchen because they're part of the family. And we all have to work together, even though I tried not to have that sermon with them. This is a family, we all have to work. I just didn't do that. That wasn't my thing. And so most of the time, I found that I could get them to do what I needed to do by throwing a little sugar on it. That's what my mother always said. She said, throw a little sugar on it, and it'll be so much better. And it was so funny because I heard her say that all of my life. And then when what's the show? The Spoonful of Sugar. Mary Poppins came along, and she talks about the spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, the medicine in this case is having to do whatever it is, whether it's to sweep the floor, dust the floors, mop the floors, set the table, whatever it is. It's a lot more fun if you throw a little sugar on it. So that's what we're doing. We're throwing a little sugar on it. And, I found it works with the big guy too. I try to throw a little sugar on it even for him. At this, doing anyway. Now, so let's look at a few big ticket items that as we think about the morning when you get up. When you get up, the first thing that you want to do is to be able to start your day fresh. And I know a lot of people take showers at night or their baths at night because they like to have some time to lounge, and that's all cool. But I just, I love the feeling of the shower in the morning. It's like it washes away, whatever sleep and whatever else that you had going on during the night, the sweat, whatever, when you You may not be my age, you may be young, but at my age, occasionally, it gets a little hot. You'll have a hot moment. And so, because of that, I figure, the shower in the morning, make sure that you're dressed, you've combed your hair. Now, this applying makeup, that is not saying that you got to go out with a full face of makeup in the morning. This just says that for me, I have to make sure I have eyebrows and mascara and some lipstick. That's it. That's it for the day. And I am ready to walk out of the bathroom when the earrings are on. And once those earrings are on, I'm ready to hit it. And so, my tip is whatever your preparations for you before you step out of that bathroom, and when you walk out of the bathroom, that's your signal to say, honey, I'm ready. Your day is ready, and you are ready to get it going. Now, if you're not an early morning person, it may not be till 11 o'clock. I got buddies who they sleep until 11, but they stay up late at night. So at 11 o'clock, when they step out of their shower or whatever it is that they've done for the morning, then that's when they're going to give their ta-da, I'm ready. And they're ready to start their day. Now, I'm an early person, so I'm going to start that day probably between 5:30, 6 o'clock. But that's when I wake up. But we, do your morning routine. Next, if you have a coffee maker or a tea maker, whatever your beverage of choice, it can be water. If this is your time to fill your water bottle, and to be honest with you, I do that in the morning as well. I just didn't put that on here, but I do. I fill up the water. I got the water ready so that I'll make sure that I drink water throughout the day. That's when I hit the button to start the coffee maker. And I get really annoyed when I forget. And yes, it's me. Sometimes I forget and I will go to bed. And it's like, as soon as I hit those pillows, I'm going, oh, I didn't set up that coffee maker. And so I just know when I hit the corner to come into the kitchen that I've got to go from the very beginning. I got to make sure things are out, cleaned, and put and switched and all the to do. But when you don't have to do that, it keeps your morning much smoother. So we want to keep that morning smooth. So mom's smiling. Next, we want to be able to light our favorite candle. And if lighting your candle is an electric battery powered candle and it's maybe in a lantern or it's somewhere strategic in your house, then light your candle. And if you have a quiet spot, take 5, 10, 15 minutes. And if you'd like to meditate, that may be where you pray, that may be where you have a passage that you like to read. You may want to spend that time, especially if it's before the kiddos get up, then you may want to get a chapter of your favorite book read. And so that's the time to be able to do that. Yep, I hear you. She's got her her water and her first cup of coffee. Oh yeah, gotta have that self moment just for you, and it's quiet. And I don't know about you, now that the weather's nice, a lot of times I'll go out on the deck. The only problem with being out on our deck, and one of these days I'll take you out there, and we'll try to talk over this problem. It used to be, well, in the fall, I can do it because most of the time my neighbor's air conditioner is not on. But during the summer, of course, the air conditioner is running constantly. So it is not quiet. And, I've got the roar of that air conditioner. And it just drives me crazy. If anything, it gives me a headache. So I have chosen not to go out there to try to meditate just for that reason. Now, it's a good place to go if I want to do some at home exercise. And you may be a yoga person, you may have your exercise routine, whatever it is, this is your time to be able to do that. And that's certainly something that I'm hoping that you'll try to work that out. That self moment. Yes, be intentional about it because you're important. The saying that when mama's not happy, nobody's happy, that is true, guys. That is very true. So, as we are looking and thinking about those self moments, then we've got to be able to work through and to try to find that time for us. And if that means getting up a few minutes early just so you can have that time, then please do that. Please do that. You'll find it makes a total difference. Now, this is one that a tip that we don't want to miss. Making sure, now I do this in the morning. I empty the dishwasher because it has clean dishes in it. And so I take all the clean dishes out. I make sure I put all of the dishes away. And once I've done that, that counter is clear. Now, the reason for that is so that no one has an excuse for not knowing where their dirty cup, dirty silverware, dirty plate or saucer should go. They can't say, but mom, you got clean dishes in the dishwasher. Well, that's not an excuse because the dishwasher's empty. And so, I have even at 3 o'clock in the morning, when you have to make that little trek during the middle of the night, sometimes if I've forgotten to hit the button to turn that dishwasher on, I've actually come down to the kitchen, started the dishwasher, and gone back to bed because I want to make sure that the dishes are clean when I get up. That way I can put them up and the dishwasher's clean. And I do that. That's one of the regimen. And certainly, if you don't have a dishwasher, you're going to like this next part because it's going to talk about, I don't know about you, but one of those things that I think about all the time, and this is something I really learned from my mom. She was so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. Puts her face on, and that's exactly what I usually say, that she's 80 and she still puts her face on every day. And what a blessing. What a blessing. Yesterday at church, there's about 10 ladies in particular. I'm dealing with ladies at church who they are so cute and they're well into their 80s. And so, but when they come to church, let me tell you, the makeup is on, the hair is perfect, the hat is laid ace deuce, and the earrings are on. Now, they they put their face on when they come for Bible study in the middle of the week. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I'm coming in for Bible study, I may be in a blouse and maybe a sweatshirt or whatever. They are dressed. They're dressed to the T, and they're serious about it. So they make sure that they've put their face on every day. And my mom did the same thing. She didn't go out. She had her blush, she had her lipstick. Oh, she didn't walk out of the house without lipstick. And so, yes, she put her face on as well. Karen said that at growing up that she didn't get they didn't get paid for chores or getting good grades in school. That's true. There are certain, and this is I'm speaking like I'm speaking for my family because I am. And because every family, operates differently. But I think part of this came from the fact that I had been in education for so long that, there our children needed to learn how that you worked, you did things in your community. So I'll say a classroom. That was our classroom community. And there were just things that needed to be done. And they knew on Friday, my last period knew, and they were so cute. When they finished their lessons, they knew they'd grab a paper towel. I had some Dawn dishwashing liquid in a spray bottle. They'd spray down their desk or their science table where they were working. They cleaned off their science table. They made sure that inside the table was clean. And when one of the moms happened to, we were talking on the phone, and she said, "You know what? He told me that he had cleaned off this science table and blah blah blah. That everybody was doing that before they left today." She said, "I can't get him to wipe the kitchen table." And I said, "Well, see, it's fun. It's fun. It's something that we do fun." And so they enjoy that. They enjoy that. Elizabeth said that that's her mom too. And that oh my goodness, she's 89. Oh, Elizabeth, that's fantastic. Oh, that's cute. She's probably the best dressed lady at church every Sunday. Isn't it amazing? And what a blessing to all of you who still have your moms. Oh my goodness. I'd give anything to still have my mom here today. And certainly enjoy every moment and encourage them to continue to do that self care that we all know we need. We need it as much as they need it. Now, one more thing. Well, not the last thing, but one other thing. You know how they used to say, just one more thing. Any dishes. I showed you how something that someone in my house had left something in the sink. And I'm trying to see if I took that out. That someone had left something in the sink. And so, should you have a someone at your house who may occasionally leave something in the sink, then in the morning, either you or someone that you can happily say, "Would you mind putting that into the dishwasher?" And as you can see, I love this picture. When I saw this picture, it was just precious. He's putting it in. He's showing the dog how he does it, and so the dog is quite happy, and so is he. And I'm sure mom is elated because he's getting that plate into the dishwasher. And so, it becomes a routine after a while. You won't even have to say, "Would you mind?" Because they've gotten so used to doing it. You'll look back and stand back and just watch them do. And it may take a month or so of throwing that sugar on it, but you will see that those things that you would really like for your hello Kadia, that you really like for your little ones to do, they will. Now, okay, hold on one. Let me I've got to adjust something here. I've got one more slide to show you. Okay, I think it's coming in. Oh, yeah. Now, this is something that I would say you want, and we probably all do it, is that we're wiping the kitchen down often throughout the day. And that way, as you do that, Sorry, guys. If you run into something that is left on the counter, whether it's mail, whether it's whether it's towels, or whether it's a hammer or nails or keys or whatever it may be, then you're able to put those things away. And it's so nice. Of course, if you get up early, then by 12 o'clock, you look at your kitchen and it's still pretty clean. And should someone happen into your kitchen is still clean. And people are amazed because the counters are clean. When your counters are clean, your table is clean, then even if it's not clean, it looks clean. And I keep a sink on one side with soapy water all the time so that it's so easy to just wash whatever it is and place it in its appropriate place. Or if you need, of course, we've gone through a couple of years of needing to sanitize everything. And so, should you need to sanitize, then certainly you have the opportunity to do that. So, thinking about our morning routine, we want to make sure that when we step out of the bathroom in the morning, that we are ready for the day. And once hair is done, whatever makeup to whatever layer based on whatever you're going to do that particular day, then you've taken care of that. You've put your face on. And if you have vitamins, medications, get those taken care of as well. Now, I like to start a full load of laundry before I even step into the kitchen. And that's one of those things. I start the laundry. If I have something that needs folding that's in the dryer, I take care of that before I come to the kitchen. Once you get in the kitchen, then that's your time where you really start to run your list. And that's where, if you have a coffee maker, you can turn it on. If you have a tea maker, you can do that. If you have a candle, you can light that candle. Have your morning quiet time with your beverage of choice. You've got your candle, you've got your beverage, and just spend a quiet moment before everyone gets up. Then remove your dishes from the dishwasher. Make sure that you have the dishwasher ready to go and nice and clean to receive whatever may come about throughout the day. If you need to wipe down your kitchen counters one more time, of course, you did it before you went to bed, but you never know what might have been lurking. So, oh, you're vacuuming. Okay. Uh, Good. I'm kind of reading some of the conversations that are going on. So start your day with that empty dishwasher. Keep your counters clean throughout the day. You want to keep a sink full of clean, soapy, warm water. You want to eliminate any clutter in your kitchen if you possibly can. And if something lands, put it up. And of course, this is one that I didn't give you a slide on, but I know we all do. And I know some of you in particular do it. You want to make sure that you keep your refrigerator, your pantry, and your cabinets organized. And if we do it little by little, then the job is not major. Don't wait until the end of the month and you look at your pantry and go, "Oh my goodness, I've got to clean the pantry," because then it's a major job. If we do it and we put things back where they're supposed to be, or as close to where they're supposed to be as possible, then the pantry stays straight. The other day, we had, what was it, the electrician? I think the electrician was in. And when I came downstairs, I opened up the pantry to get my apron. And he went, "Wow, what a nice pantry." And I just started giggling because I'm thinking, okay, whew, phew, the pantry was decent today, because sometimes, we get caught up in life and that pantry can get away from you. But I've been trying to make a conscious effort of keeping it daily. Do a little tweaking, spend about 5 minutes tweaking things back where they're supposed to go. And it certainly looked nice. He was impressed. Little young guy. And I'm going, I don't know. I don't know if most guys would have even paid attention to a pantry, but he did. And our refrigerators, certainly, that those plates and those cups that are sitting in the refrigerator, we want to try to get rid of those. And it's a good time at the end of the evening or while your food is cooking. That's when I usually do it, while we're cooking, and you have a moment, you're waiting on something to either come to a boil or to simmer. That's your best time. Go in that refrigerator and pull out whatever needs to come out. And then that way you can put those containers into your dishwasher. So that night, when the dishwasher runs, all of those containers are good. And if you need to take your soapy towel and wipe down a shelf, you can do that very quickly without having a major clean out to have to happen. That's not to say that we don't do the major. It's saying that we won't have to do it as frequently if we clean a little bit each time. Now, cabinets, guys, you know, I'm honest. I'm giving it to you. I'm laying my head down because if there's anyone in this world who has an issue with trying to keep the cabinet straight, it's probably me. Because when I get in a hurry, I'll put it back. But if I'm in a big hurry, then it goes back in there. It goes back in there. It's back in there. And it's going to be in the right cabinet, but it may not be in the right spot. And so I'm preaching to myself to keep my cabinets organized. And, I just went through a major organization. And I'd like to say that I can brag on myself today. I'm really proud of myself. I was fooling around with my computer to see what I could how much you could see. And I was trying to show you. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, just knocked the phone off, but that's okay. I actually have everything in the place where it's supposed to be. Now, I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to do that, because that's really not me. Not really. My cabinets are usually sometimes a hot mess. And especially when I worked, when I worked, by the time I would get home, I had my kids, somebody else's kids, because we had sports or something after school. So when we came in, it was a mad rush to get things done. And if I was putting things in the cabinet or the kids were putting stuff up, and most of the time the kiddos are not quite as nice about putting things exactly where it's supposed to be. I'm pickier now because, let's face it, I'm glad that the cups got back in the cup cabinet, especially when the kids were here. They got it back in the cabinet. I was okay with that. They got the plates back where the plates were supposed to be. I was good with that. And but they may not look the way that I would have liked for them to have looked. But I didn't make it an issue because I just wanted things put away. And so, that's something that it's funny. When I went to my son's house a couple of weeks ago for the weekend, and to visit with them Memorial Day weekend. And it's so funny. He and his wife have everything has a place, and they are meticulous at putting everything back exactly where it's supposed to be. So, I'm kind of one of those. I will help. I will unload the dishwasher, do those kind of things. Most of the things I know where it goes. But if I happen upon something that I really don't know where it goes, I kind of know the general vicinity, then I'm going to place it in the general vicinity. And when they come through, then I'm going to say, I left the so and so here because I wasn't quite sure where it went, and they will very nicely just pick it up and put it back wherever it is. And actually, their ceilings are so much taller than mine that I need a ladder to get to their top two shelves in their kitchen cabinets. I think they've got 5 or 6 shelves in their cabinet. And so, because of that, I can't even reach beyond the second cabinet. That's how tall they are. But they're tall. So for them, it's no problem. They can get things where they're supposed to go, but they are meticulous. So I know that even though I had to throw a little sugar on some of my requests, that he learned, and he has picked it up, and now it's just a part of him. I say, you just keep your kitchen so clean and so special, and it's just so nice to come in your kitchen. He says, well, Mom, that's what we do. And I said, well, I am just so impressed. He said, well, your kitchen was always nice and clean. And I'm thinking, was it? Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes, it was. And so we want to be able to encourage. And my daughter's the same way. Her kitchen, everything's in place. And I'm looking at it because I'm thinking, you did hear the things I was saying, and you're practicing those things, and they're teaching the grandkids those things that I had asked them to do the same thing. So certainly we are so blessed, first of all, to have good families, and second of all, we want to love on them, and we want to encourage them to do the things that we need. Most of the time, if they think they're doing it for you, to help you, they don't have a problem with doing it whatsoever. But when they think it's a chore, then it's an issue. And so I guess because I think I've told you guys this, I had on average every semester about 150 to 155 students. And so it's you learn very quickly when you need help, you learn how to get it. And then everybody's up. Everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to do something. And it's fun. Then you have to find jobs for them to do, but you don't call them jobs. You know, could you do this for me? And I need some help with this. And it just sounds so much better. Have you done your chores today? So, Sin, I'm looking at you. You said your grown kids are really clean and organized too. I know it is a shock. You just look at them and think, are you the same person who lived at my house? When I can, I'm sure you all have experienced this as well. I, and wasn't I wasn't a well, yes, I was. I wanted the rooms clean. And so at least once a week, I wanted the room shoveled out because, with boys, they've got socks and stinky socks and tennis shoes and heaven only knows what else that's usually thrown under a pillow under the bed because they want their room to look nice, and they don't want me to come through and say, I think you need to work on your room. So they put things out of sight. They figured that one out. Get it out of sight so mom doesn't have to see it. And it was so funny because, you know, as I would go through cleaning, the things I would find, or when I was getting ready to wash, then I would have to go, okay, I'm filling up the basket. If you want your clothes clean, they got to hit the basket. And so they would go running around gathering up all of these little bald socks and whatever, to throw them in the basket. And you just laugh. It's like, thank you, needed that. And it was just so funny because now they are meticulous. They don't want anything out of place. Their pantries are perfect. Their linen closets are perfect. It's like, oh no, mom, I'll get that out. I said, well, I'm not going to mess it up. No, mom, I'll get that out. It's like, okay, they got their organization. So I just kind of go, okay. My husband just says, who are they? Are they still our children? And yes, they are. That is too funny. She said, that's so true about not knowing what's lurking on your counters. That's the truth. That's the truth. And you know what? I thought it was just the kids, but somebody else is just as bad. I came through the other day. There were little computer parts, some wire, some tape measures, and something else is sitting out on my counter. And I thought, well, I won't say anything to begin with. But an hour later, they were still there and they were sitting in their comfy chair asleep. I thought, oh no. And so I waited till they got up and I said, would you mind taking that out to the garage for me? I'm going to need to use that area when I cook today. And they said, oh, I forgot to take that out. So it went out and I didn't have to go. Nah, 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 nah. So anyway, we do what we have to do because we kind of sort of spoil them, and even the big ones as well as the young ones. And but you know what, my even when you're by yourself, I have a friend who lives alone, and she's so funny. Actually, she laughs all the time. She says, oh man, you got kids coming in and out, you got your husband, the whole to do, your house is straight. She said, you go to her place and you're stepping over stuff. She said, well, nobody sees it but me, but I see it. I see it. Now, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about if that were my place, it had to get put up. It's got to go somewhere. It may not be perfect, but it's got to go somewhere. Now, guys, this has been fun, having a fun conversation at lunchtime because we get to chit chat. And, I love each of you. I love having you right here. And I hope that as you think about your summer kitchen, because it is a little different during the summer, you got more traffic coming through your kitchen. And so you want to have a plan, not only just for, excuse me, you need a plan for you because you want your kitchen a certain way. And of course, I'm working in the kitchen, but for me, it applies to the house. I want it a certain way. And so, because of that, we have to put things in place that help us to achieve that nice look that we love. No one knows it's not necessarily perfect because no one has a perfect house. But when we know we've worked our plan, it's going to look good. It's going to look good. Now, I have certainly enjoyed every moment spending lunchtime with you. And we have some folks who have been with us today who are new. Yay! Who are new. And I hope they'll come back with us next week. Now, let me tell you, next this week has been light and airy. But next week, we're going to be a little more serious in that we're going to do it light, but we're going to be a little more serious. We've got a serious subject that's coming up next week that I just think for our entire community, our family, our community, that this is going to be something all of us can use. And when you come across those people who can help us, it may not be in our house, but it may be someone in your circle who may need this information that you can share with them. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. We're going to be taking a look at mental health and not ours. Not ours, but we're going to be I'm being light. I'm being light because it is a serious subject, and our nation is being affected by it. Never would I have thought that we would have the problems that we do, but we certainly do. And as mothers, as grandmothers, as wives, as women, as gentlemen, we know of people who have some concerns that we need to help them navigate through. They may be at such a point where they don't even realize that there is a problem, and maybe they just need encouragement. And sometimes they need a hug. So, we're going to talk about mental health next week, and particularly our children, because mental health doesn't mean that you have a true disease. Mental health may mean it could be depression. There are it could be anxiety. It could be all of those different things. And so we're going to try to work through some of those issues and give some suggestions that we will have in the back of our mind. And as we spot those kind of things, we will know how to respond. So we're going to be looking at that next week. And I have a specialist who's going to be coming in and talking to us next week. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope that each of you, if you know of someone who has someone who maybe in their home, or you're just a little concerned, maybe the parent hasn't even noticed it, but you have. And I think this person may help you in having a way of being able to introduce a subject gently. And if it's in your home, it may help you in trying to deal with it because, we see things, and so often we're not quite sure what to say, not quite sure how to approach it. Or if it's something that's small, what can we do to turn it around rather than having a blowout? So, those are going to be the things that we're going to look at next week. We've got our children home, whether it's your grandchildren, your neighbor's children, or yours. And we want to certainly give them whatever it is that they stand in need of. So I love all of you. I'm looking forward to seeing you later this week. I've got plans for you for Wednesday, and I have some big plans for you on Saturday. And Saturday's cooking is going to be a viewer request. So look forward to that. Love, love, love. Mwah. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself and jump out of the shower tomorrow ready to go. Much love, and I'll see you soon right here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Mwah.